Hey guys, what's up? It is Tylia Flores with another video. And before we get into today's video, please like, share, and subscribe if you're brand new. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome. My name is Tylia Flores. I was born with a form of cerebral palsy called spastic dysplasia. Although I have spastic dysplasia, I never allowed it to affect my will and determination to share my story with the world. And with that being said, you guys, I want to get into today's video. Because, a lot of the times people ask me, Tylia, why do you love advocating so much? Why do you love writing so much? Why do you do it so often every day? You don't sleep, do you? And they're absolutely right. I don't sleep because I'm constantly thinking of ways of how I could spread awareness about cerebral palsy and educate the world and show the world that although people may have this condition and it does exist, we don't live terrible lives. We don't want petty. We don't want sorrow. We just want society to be aware that, yes, we have this condition, but we are able to live in our society. We just have to adapt to things in a different way. For example, when I'm working on an article or a piece or a poem or a song that I want to write, I use Dragon Dictation, or I use Accessibility Keyboard, or I use the accessibility feature on my iPhone, and boy, I gotta change that background to something cooler in a few days, because I've had this background for a few months and it's just not my color, y'all. But anyway, y'all get the gist of it, and that's exactly why I share my story, is to inspire people, motivate people to realize that yes, we may have this condition that affects 17 billion of us globally, million, but it doesn't affect our abilities and our different abilities that we have, guys. We all have dreams and passion. My passion is to be a best-selling author and advocate for cerebral palsy. That is my passion. That is my dream, and one day I'll get there. But of course, you're gonna go through obstacles along the way in life. Everybody does. But that doesn't mean you give up. You just keep on stomping on CP and be the best person you could be. That's what my message is, and that's what it's all about. When I came up with stomping on cerebral palsy 8 years ago, and I decided to jump into this advocacy world, I thought about it, and I was like, I want to leave a legacy in this world. I want to help other people with cerebral palsy that have gone through the same struggles that I went through, that may need a role model. And what do I want that message to be? And I thought about several different ones. And I thought about how an elephant stomps on things when they're mad. And that's how I feel as if we need to handle cerebral palsy. We have to stomp on the obstacles and challenges that come our ways. We can't let society stop us from doing the things we love to do just because a place isn't handicap accessible. We can't do that. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep striving. And that is the main thing I want people to understand when watching this video, is that I just want to keep going. I want to be motivated. I want to keep stomping on CP. And despite all the obstacles that I have to face, y'all, despite everything that I have to face on a day-to-day basis, I could allow my disability to be a reason of why I don't achieve things and why I can't. But do I? No. I'm 25 years old. I've been a contributor for many sites. I go out, I travel the world, and I just do things to the best of my ability. And that's what we have to do when it comes to writing our stories and telling our stories as people with disabilities. That way, we could all end the stigmas of, oh, this person has this disability. I feel so bad for that person. Don't feel bad for me because you see me out in the street and you see me in the wheelchair. My mind and my knowledge, my mind and my awareness of the world is perfectly fine. I just use a wheelchair to go around. Just like other people may find other ways to get around, you know? So don't feel bad for me just because you see me out in the street. And you know, as an author, I always tell people it is our job to write our life stories. No one else's. And I believe that when I went to heaven and I came back as a 2-pound, 3-ounce baby, God was telling me, Tylia, I'm going to give you cerebral palsy. It's not your time to come up here yet. He said, it's not your time, girlfriend. You need to go down there. I'm going to put some antagonists in your life and I'm going to give you some protagonists, but you need to go out there and write the story of your life and you're going to change the world. And I believe that I am going to change the world to the best of my ability. And you know, what I want people to understand is that when it came to me being a writer and an advocate, I wanted to spread a message that was positive. You know, sometimes we have to be the ones that makes the difference out there, y'all. Not everybody else in society. We have to be the ones to make the difference. And that's exactly what I'm doing today. And that's exactly what writing has allowed me to do. That's exactly what writing has allowed me to do. It has allowed me to connect with some of the greatest people that I know. It's allowed me to see things in a different way. And it has allowed me to cope with my disability and telling my story of being disabled and living in a society that wasn't made for me, but I make things happen, okay? I make things happen. If my swan finger is getting too sore for me to type, I just turn on my accessibility and start typing. No big deal. But with that being said, y'all, it's up to us to share our stories. It's up for us to say, okay, I'm going to share my story, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do many, many great things with my story. Because you're only giving one story, so write it, embrace it, and achieve the goals that you said to achieve. And never be ashamed of the obstacles that you face while writing the story. Because each story has a plot, it has a twist, and it has an end. And that's what you guys have to remember. You have to ask yourselves, how do I want my story to end? How do I want to be remembered? How do I want people to remember me once I'm gone? And what message do I want to leave behind? I know the message that I want to leave behind. Despite the obstacles you face in life, you have to stomp on CP. And as my shirt says here, hold on, y'all. As my shirt says here, I'm an author, but I'm an author on wheels. You know, and it's just great to be able to say that writing changed my life. Writing helped me get into advocacy. Writing helped me find my voice. And that's what y'all need to do. If you love something and you're passionate about it, go for it. Tell your story that way. You don't have to necessarily be a writer to tell your story. But if you find something you're passionate about and that helps you cope with your disability, tell the story, embrace it, love it, and leave a message behind for those to remember. So with that being said, y'all, over and out. This is Tylia Flores. Bye, y'all.